Okay, we'll call the meeting to order at 7:03. Please join me in the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hi, everybody. Let's see. We'll jump right in with our old business. September's action items. Yvette was going to send an organizational chart to the Board of Trustees. We received one when we had our last meeting. I was going to send retreat dates, which I did. And from the people I heard from, October 22nd works. So that's next week. If that's still good with people, we'll meet October 22nd. Yvette, can we meet in the library?
Sure.
Okay. Do people want to do 6:30, 7? Do you have a preference?
6:30.
Want to do 6:30? It just feels like we're going to get done sooner, doesn't it? If you get 6:30, which like it feels early. Yes, let's do 6:30. It will be dark either way. So, but we will, Library Board of Trustees retreat the 22nd at 6:30. Janet, at the library. Janet was going to send trust fund amount details to Yvette.
I did.
Yvette was going to check on collections third-party update. And
January.
January. So for Erin, just to let you know, we began using a collection agency last year upon the recommendation of our head of circulation. And she's been tracking it. And from her conversations with Janet, it sounds like we'll have a lot of good data to work from. So we're going to review it in January and see if it's worth it for us to continue or not. So great. Thank you, Yvette. And I will follow up on the survey link finalization. And I did send it to you. So, okay. Was there anything I missed from September? All right. Next on our agenda was schedule the Library Board of Trustees retreat. Done. So that's good. Nothing for SMP. That's just a placeholder with the architect. Strategic plan. We did end up getting more survey responses, which is excellent. Deb Hoadley is going to work on a draft of the strategic plan. And I believe her next step was to meet with the steering committee. So that's in process. Building maintenance project list and CIP. So this is an ongoing thing. I don't know if anybody had any questions for Yvette or if there was anything you wanted to point out to us, Yvette. No? Just looked like a lot of things were added in September. I saw the dates. I was like, oh, lots of things came up, like the standing water, the water purification system. So things are happening. So, okay. No questions? All right, moving on. We're moving right to new business. This is a very brisk meeting. Fiscal year 2024-25 budget, general ledger, invoice manifest, and open POs.
Well, I just sent out another version of the general ledger, but it was not different from the one that Jen sent. So I just need to send your questions to Paul.
Yeah, there's just like, I tracked the money, or I tracked all the POs that we had from like last fiscal year that hadn't closed into this fiscal year, and they're all on the general ledger, but we had extra funds at the end of fiscal year 23-24. That money isn't showing up.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's, so we always are able to encumber money at the end of a fiscal year, and those are the funds that we're not seeing in this fiscal year. So we want to make sure we know where those are and that they show up in our encumbered money as they should. So,
I saw that you added an extra 2 weeks, or at least on either side. It's actually not the general ledger that I needed the extra time on. It's the PO list.
Oh, okay, sure. Yep. question when I was looking at all of the different finance sheets. On the special profit and loss detail.
Oh, that's me. That's
Oh,
on
that's
the,
you, okay.
that's on the treasurer's report.
What are the finance charges? There's like a section for finance charges. And they have like 2 letters and then a number after them, like a 4-digit number.
Oh,
That's business card. It's a staff initial and the last 4 digits of the card, so I can keep track of whose card it is.
But I just don't understand why there are finance charges on the card. Are there something that we're missing?
Some things get mailed late. I mean, that's
so
a
there
finance
are
charge.
charges on paying the card.
Yes.
Okay.
I put you here so we can be symmetrical.
That's right.
Only Robbie and I care about.
So,
So I was up there.
Eva, when at the end of the fiscal year, I believe they were told to encumber everything and put it in buildings,
Mhm.
right? So, okay. Okay, so Janet will send an email and double check on that. Okay.
Do you want Janet to send the email or me to
no,
send the
you
email?
can send it.
Oh, I thought that you said she was gonna.
Well, your email said you wanted me to send it, but now that you,
I don't know that I said that. I said I need to send your questions to him
oh,
because I talked to him earlier today
okay. I misunderstood. that
and he
email.
said, yep, everything's closed. Everything should be rolled over.
Okay. So, yes. Bring my questions to Paul, please.
Maybe you could write them up exactly how you'd like them asked, like your very specific questions, because you know this is what we think we should have.
Right.
This is what we know we should have because we tracked it. Where did those end up? Usually we see them at the
Sure.
so, and then send
Okay.
that to Yvette, and then
Sure.
she can forward it on, so we are clear. That way, there's not as much back and forth. So,
Okay.
yeah, if you're really clear about that, thank you. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, great. Let's see. I'm moving so quickly, my agenda's out of order. Sorry, everybody. In my paper shuffle here, lost what's coming up next, which I believe should be policy. Huh, great.
Yep.
Policy, which we don't have anything, but we do have a holiday schedule. So,
Yes. So just to update you on the policy, Jen and I had another Zoom meeting with the 2 town attorneys to go over the staff policy manual. So we finished looking at that with them. They're going to clean up the draft based on the conversations we've had with them. They're also looking at the staff safety policy. So those 2 things will be reviewed at the same time, and then we'll have another Zoom with them.
okay, great. Do you want to
You will see it soon.
Okay. Do you want to do the holiday schedule now
Sure,
too?
yeah.
Sure. So everybody should have gotten a holiday schedule for 2025. Is there anything different than in past years?
No. We go back, I think it's 7 years, everything lines up again in terms of the days of the week. So I think, we try to look at when a holiday falls on a Sunday or a Monday and make sure staff have a day off, if it's a federal holiday.
Okay.
The only thing that changed from last year is the July 5th
Mm.
for the Saturday,
Mm.
but it's the weekend. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll make a motion that we accept the holiday schedule for 2025.
Second.
Okay. Any further questions or comment? Okay. All those in favor? 500. Thank you. Grants is just a placeholder for right now as well. Director's report.
Okay. We received a donation of a picture book from Glenn E. Richard entitled Nana Nana by Nate Bertone. This is the picture book right here.
Oh, nice.
So you'll see, if you haven't seen that, there is an End Alzheimer's Now sticker. So this is something we'd like to add to our collection. Hopefully it'll be useful for families who are going through different things with relatives. So we'd like to add that to the collection.
Great. I'll make a motion that we accept the picture book Nana Nana by Nate Bertone.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor? 500. Thank you to Glenn Richard for the book.
Okay, and then we also received a donation of assorted fiction books from Merrimack resident Marianne Colpitz. We'd like to add this to the adult fiction collection as well.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we accept the fiction books from Marianne Colpitz.
Second.
All those in favor? 500. Thank you.
And then according to the treasurer's report, which maybe you need to clarify for me, there's 65 cents of an anonymous donation, and then I wasn't sure how to,
It's
the $25
just
is
a donation.
undesignated donation. Okay. So we've got 25, 65, incorrect there,
Okay.
for you to accept.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we accept $25.65, the anonymous donation.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, all those in favor? 500. Thank you.
I had received a letter of resignation from Dina Metivier. Her last day was actually October 4th. She accepted a higher paying non-library job. The PAR, Deb, is in the box.
Okay.
If you haven't gotten to it.
No, I
You do need to vote to accept it.
Okay, I will make a motion that we accept with regret Dina Metivier.
I don't think so.
Metivier? Dina Medivier's, I was trying to give it a little, Dina Medivier's resignation.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? Thank you, 500, and wish her all the best.
So there were a few funding requests for the staff for different kinds of training and conference attendance. $40 together for Eve Sudal and Alyssa Jobin to attend NHLA. The Paralibrarians section Navigating Interlibrary Loan workshop at the Hampstead Public Library, November 15th. And then also $50 for Jen Stover to attend the NHLA 2024 Fall Conference and Business Meeting in Plymouth, New Hampshire on November 6th.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we fund the $40 and the for Eve and Alyssa, and the $50 for Jen.
Second.
Okay, yes?
I just want to amend out of passports.
Out of passports, to be paid out of passports. Okay, so the motion is that there'll be $40 for Eve and Alyssa, $50 for Jen, to be paid out of passports.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Okay, all those in favor? 500. Thank you, Yvette.
Sure. I don't know if you had any questions about anything. Alyssa gave me her circulation report late. She thought she had sent it and she had it still in her draft box. But, one of the things I'll just mention in her report, where the Leach Library in Londonderry is joining Jim Oaks in a week. So at that point, we're trying to notify the public that they will need library cards to check anything out. We'll have to take a physical record, by hand, what their library activity is if they're checking things out. We can't really have anyone use their driver's license then because we can't confirm that they have a record because the catalog will be down during the onboarding. That's because all of their collections from Leach are integrated into our catalog and everything has to be down for that because it would all change, live in real time. So that's one thing.
Is that per day or 3 days?
It's like 3 days. So it's on the website. I believe it's like the 22nd through the 24th or the 21st through the 23rd, but
Okay.
yeah,
Good to know.
so that's something.
Do they have a system where they can scan things? Like, or is it actually be physically writing it down?
We wouldn't be able to scan it to a document.
I remember doing it like there was a box in a past system, and it was like had a scanner, and you could scan it all and then upload that information.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I don't know if that's what Alyssa's going to do.
Okay.
You know, I'm
I just didn't know if
leaving
that was
those.
still something with this new system that you were able to do.
Yeah, you can be offline and then upload, but you know, where are we going to put the I'm leaving all those little details to
Yeah.
her because it's a lot about the workflow and where to put things, and we'll have probably things set, you know, tables set up in the clump room for returned items that aren't checked in yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think she's planning on scanning. No, I don't.
Yeah,
I just
didn't know
left
if
it
that
up
was
to her, but yeah.
technologically
Yeah.
still something you could do with the
Sure.
system. Okay.
I don't know if you had other questions for me about this.
Okay. Treasurer's report.
Wow, we are moving right along.
Well, our goal was to have a shorter business meeting because we knew we had more to do in our non-public session to do.
Sure.
So,
So for the month of September, we had, in our fines account, we started with $3,607.85, and we ended the month with $3,733.49. And then in in special, we started the month with $52,831.62 and ended the month with $58,571. There were a couple things I just wanted to point out. The money from last month, all the square donations got deposited into fines as we voted on, and same with special. So you can see those. And then that's it for, does anybody have it? Well, you already asked about the finance. Is there any other questions on the other reports? Okay.
Was that transfer that we did last month more of a one-off thing?
No, it's gonna happen every month.
Okay, that's what I was
And
kind of thinking, yeah.
You are
Okay.
leading
Oh.
directly into where
I
I
don't
was
mean
going.
to hurry you along.
It's all good. Just gonna find it. There it is. Okay. Retreat dates. I moved the money. So for last month, because we're always in arrears, we had $57.01 that was paid into fines that's sitting in our savings account, special savings, or no, it's primary savings, sorry. And then there's $2.87. So I'd like to make a motion to move $57.01 from primary savings to the fines.
Second.
okay. Any questions or comments about that? Okay. All those in favor? 500.
And then $2.87 to special.
From primary savings
Correct.
to special.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor? 500.
I might talk to you guys at some future date. I don't know if this is something maybe we should do once every 3 months, because as opposed to every month. I don't know. I'm not sure what's better.
You say, is there a difference in terms of? Not really. Does it save you time? Not
Is
really.
it easier to keep tabs on?
It's that it is.
Okay. Yeah.
To do it monthly.
I don't know. To me, if we're just in the habit of doing it, then
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My 2
Well,
cents.
given this is only the second time, I wasn't sure.
But it made an impression. Molly was looking for it.
I know.
I have it all ready to go in the minute.
I'm totally ready. I'm totally ready.
I'd also like to move $5,000 from our fines savings account, which has somewhere around like $40,000 or $47,000 in it. $5,000 from that to support our museum passes that we do in the fiscal year. I don't want to get too low. We're at 3,700 in fines, and I want to make sure everything's covered.
Okay, so did you want to make a
So
motion?
I'd like to make a motion to move $5,000 from fines savings
Okay.
to fines checking,
For museum passes.
just to cover fines.
Okay. Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? 500. Thank you.
Welcome. The trust fund money came in, if that was on the reports, if you were interested. And that's it.
Okay,
Thanks.
great. Any questions for Janet? Okay, moving on to acceptance of minutes. We have 4 sets of minutes to accept. The first is from our public meeting on September 17th. Any changes or corrections? Okay, I'll make a motion to accept those minutes.
Can
I'll
I second?
Okay.
I don't know. It's a little
Okay.
weird if I second. I'll
Yeah.
put Janet.
Okay. All those in favor? 500. Thank you. We also have the non-public minutes from that evening, 9:17.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor? Great. Then Molly, so quickly getting them to us from our meeting last week, October 9th, we have public meeting minutes. Very brief public meeting.
Okay.
Okay. I'll make a motion to accept those.
I'll second.
Thank you, Erin. All those in favor? And then we have our non-public meeting minutes from that evening. I'll make a motion to accept those.
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor? 500. Great. We are moving through. Now, if we did not have a non-public session, this might be a record. Okay, so we have nothing from the Building Exploratory Committee, Friends. Robbie, I know you weren't able to make it.
I had an emergency, unfortunately.
No worries. Things
Apologize.
come up. Was there anything at the Friends meeting that we need
I
to
read
know?
the meeting minutes.
I didn't bring the minutes.
Oh, I got the minutes in the email. They talked about the trunk or treat, which is October 27th from 1 to 3. They made a motion to fund candy for trunk or treat in the amount of $300. It looked like they had the treasurer's report. They also discussed the October 24th songwriter folk concert workshop. And they made a motion to add some money to the budget for refreshments for that. I think that was pretty much it.
We did have a building committee.
Oh, I'm
meeting.
so no. That's Building Exploratory Committee.
Oh, we're
That's
not doing-
different.
I'm
We're not
sorry.
to the.
You're right.
Yep.
Okay.
Everybody's jumping all around
We're doing
today.
that.
Like no,
Like
wrong
ready.
building. Wrong building Exploratory Committee. Okay. Thanks for the update, Erin.
You're welcome.
Um,
and I did put it on my calendar to go this month.
Awesome. Thank you.
What's the date this
The next
October
one-
28th.
Yes.
Then the Development Fund is also will be scheduled to meet on the 28th at 5:00. So there's nothing from them yet, but we'll have an update next month. Town Center Committee, I have nothing on that. So nothing. Okay. Library Building. I'm sorry. Library Board of Trustee Committee updates. Personnel.
We did have a meeting last week, and it sounds like there was a plan for a meeting earlier today. But we will have discussion in non-public,
Okay.
and then we have some documents to share and updates to do with the group.
Great. Finance Committee. We met briefly, well, it kind of extended with Jen and Yvette to talk about some of the stuff on Polaris and how it was coming, how it could be, I guess, so that Jen was able to explain to you what was going on and we could just make sure everybody understood what the reports were.
Right. So the image that Jen sent to Yvette that we got in our packet last month, she just explained that and what all the numbers mean. It is the money from our budget lines, and it also has encumbered money in it. So the numbers make sense, put it that way. But this is a way for us to see that they're spending their material lines, which is significant because that was under question from the town last fiscal year. It appeared incorrectly. So, so now we want to just make sure that they're spending their money and they can show us. That's all.
Okay, great. And the building committee, is that you met?
We did.
We
It was
did.
my first building committee meeting. It was great. I think we did more of a tour than we went through the list and then we did a tour and I got to see all of the spaces in the library that were question marks and we discussed the under the stairs and I saw on the list that you guys have added cording off of the area under the stairs that the town brought up at the Joint Loss Committee. So yeah, I thought it was very great learning experience as far as the building goes. I think the big question for us is just moving forward with the chiller and how we go about moving forward with that. And I think our next meeting is November 7th.
Okay, anything else to add?
No, most of, like, we took a tour. We did the outside, we did the inside.
That's good. It gives you some perspective on what we're dealing with. So
Yeah. Yeah. And then, like she said, the north stairwell.
Yes. Which is kind of silly, but if
Silly,
that's
but-
what they think, then that's fine.
all right. Review October's action items. Do we have any? Well, Janet's
I
going to
have-
send her
yeah.
questions too.
I have my questions to Yvette.
Uh-huh.
I'm moving money from the primary savings to the respective fines and special. And then I'm moving money, the $5,000 from savings fines to fines checking. Those are mine.
At the trustee retreat, we'll really do a lot more with finance type stuff. Janet will give an explanation and we can talk about a few other things. But if there's specific items that people think should be on the agenda, please send them to me and we'll include them. So, okay.
There is one. November is usually when the board meets with the town council to do an annual appointment. So the available date for that is the 7th of November if you are available.
It does not ring a bell with me, so I think that will be fine.
Okay.
So, it's a Thursday, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Do you want me to put that in the
Sure.
action items?
Sure.
Sorry, what is it, November 7th?
Yep.
Meeting with
We go before the town council.
town.
Great, thank you.
So this is, I'm just to explain, this is a courtesy to the town council because the trustees are a separate board. And committees, if you've watched the town council meetings.
She was watching a meeting on her way in today. She's
Wow. Those committees regularly have appointments with the town council so they can give an annual update about what is happening. And we've been doing it for a couple of years now, just so that we're before the town council when it's not just budget season. It's just, here's all the cool stuff that we're doing. Or updates on the building or projects or whatever. And usually, Deb and Janet sit at the...
You.
No,
You
you.
do.
No, not you.
I
Are
sit
you
in the
sure?
audience.
I'm not in the audience. Are
No.
you really? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'm forgetting.
No, it's usually you.
Yvette.
It's you two.
Trying to get out of it. Okay.
No.
Yeah, it's usually the chair and
I'm
myself.
there for support.
We could pull 3 chairs up though. So I think if the board wants to come, you are certainly welcome to come. It's not a meeting, but I can post a non-meeting that it's a happenstance that the entire board as a quorum, is present, but you just can't talk.
What time is it? 7?
We usually show up at 7 and I don't know when we are usually on the agenda.
Usually not too late.
No.
No, not for this one, but usually on the budget ones, we're towards the end. But yeah, for this one, they get us in and out pretty quickly. So,
Okay.
great,
I'd like
thank
to
you.
make a comment about the retreat. It's not all about finances.
No, that's
Right. It's if there's laws that you're interested in, if there's something that we do that you question, if there's I just had it, right to know. I mean, it can be anything. anything that you want a better explanation about, as well as it's also supposed to be an opportunity for us to set a goal for us. So, or a few goals, whichever. So, think about it.
It's also just a good opportunity to talk about
Mhm.
like what's going on and
Yeah.
you know, where we want to go with things. So, okay, great. So, upcoming events: the Merrimack Public Library Development Fund Committee will be meeting October 28th at 5 p.m. in the Lowell Room. The Friends of the Library will be meeting October 28th at 7 p.m. in the Director's Office. Trunk or Treat will be October 27th from 1 to 3. The next Library Board of Trustees meeting will be November 19th. I'm sorry, monthly meeting, I should say, would be November 19th at 7 p.m. here in the Merrimack Memorial Room. Anything else before we go into non-public? Okay, then I am going to make a motion to enter non-public session per RSA 91A32A personnel.
Second.
Thank you, Robbie. And we will go ahead and do a roll call vote. Janet?
Yes.
I say yes. Erin?
Yes.
Molly?
Yes.
And Robbie.
Yes.
Okay, we are in non-public at 7:35.